Hello, my name is Bryan Depoy, and I'm the Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and the Chief Academic Officer here at Lake Erie College. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to this opportunity to celebrate the achievement of some of our best students. To all the parents, guardians, and family members, as well as the distinguished members of the Lake Erie College community who are watching with us, thank you very much for joining us virtually. The students we are celebrating today are committed to demonstrating academic integrity, respect, and excellence, and have truly captured all that embodies the collegiate intellectual environment. We are very, very proud of you. Today, I'm also pleased to recognize a special group who have excelled academically, and those are the students who have earned Latin honors designations. The designations are tiered by grade point averages. Students who have earned a minimum GPA of 3.5 achieve cum laude. A 3.6 GPA is required for magna cum laude, and for the highest form of Latin honors, summa cum laude, students must attain a 3.8 GPA for this designation. Latin honors is not only important in terms of recognition, it also serves as a means of demonstrating the ability to rise to a challenge, which will aid in graduate school admissions, enhancing appeal for job opportunities, and to broadly demonstrate a commitment to excel in comparison to their peers. It is my hope that our graduates will carry this designation very proudly throughout their lives. During our honors convocation ceremony, we always try to feature a speaker who has a strong commitment to academic excellence and someone who embodies all the hallmarks of what makes a Lake Erie College education distinctive. I am pleased to introduce to you Dr. Adam Steyer, Associate Professor of English and Director of the Honors Program at Lake Erie College. Since receiving his Ph.D. from The Ohio State University, where he was a Presidential Fellow, Dr. Steyer has published scholarly articles on topics as varied as the short fiction of Henry James, literary representations in consciousness, and David Fincher's 2007 film, Zodiac. He's also presented his research at gatherings of the American Literature Association, the Popular Culture Association, and the International Society for the Study of Narrative, among other academic conferences. At Lake Erie College, Dr. Steyer takes great pleasure in teaching courses in American literature, film, critical thinking, and composition. He's also enjoyed in recent years dabbling in screenwriting. His comedic television pilot, Touched, was named a finalist for the 2019 Page International Screenwriting Awards. In his 1 year as the director of the honors program, he has transformed it to align with and supports our signature Pathway to Empowerment program. The honors sequence, base camp coursework followed by Vistas seminar, followed by the Ventures seminar, concluding with the Scholars Summit, is meant to mirror the Pathway to Empowerment's 4 phases, which are self-discovery, developing strong personal attributes, creative problem solving, and balancing personal and professional goals with the needs of others. The revamped honors program seeks to not only complement our Pathway to Empowerment program, but it also is designed to build rigor around the mission and vision of the college. The idea is that P2E and the honors program tell essentially the same story, just in slightly different registers. Thank you for your time, and congratulations to all. Now please join me in welcoming Dr. Adam Steyer.
Esteemed graduates, parents, siblings, and extended family members of our honorees, Lake Erie College faculty and staff, random dude who accidentally clicked on this link, it's my privilege to speak to you today at LEC's first, and here's hoping last, virtual honors convocation. I have to say, when Vice President Depoy invited me to give this speech, my first instinct was to think, okay, well, I don't know what to talk about exactly, so maybe I'll just read that Dr. Seuss book that everyone gives as a graduation present. You know the one, right? So I pitched that idea to my wife, Christine. I told her, yeah, I think I'm just going to read from Oh, the Places You'll Go. And Christine is smart. She immediately said, you really think Oh, the Places You'll Go is the best choice of material right now, Professor, in the middle of a global lockdown? And of course she was right. Kind of mean, but right. So I'm sorry, folks, you heard it here first. Oh, the Places You'll Go has officially been canceled. A crisis as momentous as the one we currently face forces all of us to take a step back so as to reflect on our core values, recognize that which we may have taken for granted, and recall just why it is we do what we do. There's no doubt this is a time of great chaos, but if we stay curious, if we come to the world with open eyes and minds, it can also be a time of great clarity. In particular, for those of us involved in higher education, the pandemic might inspire us to revisit the question of why we even care about academic excellence in the first place. One of the more moving scenes to emerge from this crisis is how every evening in Manhattan, at 7 p.m., as the shifts at hospitals turn over, residents of the city lean from their windows to cheer on healthcare workers. Maybe you've already had a chance to see videos of this on YouTube. If not, I encourage you to seek them out. For whole minutes, the normally cacophonous metropolis is overwhelmed by the singular sound of applause. The doctors and nurses tending to patients using every tool at their disposal to save lives, the scientists and researchers working tirelessly in labs to create a vaccine, the policymakers considering how our social and economic structures will need to change to meet these challenges. How many of those on the front lines of the fight against COVID-19 invested their formative years in the pursuit of academic excellence? How many were perhaps even recognized by their communities, their colleges, just as you're being recognized today for their commitment to learning and leadership and the cultivation of expertise? I'm willing to bet a significant number. When we get to the other side of this pandemic, which we will in no small part have academic excellence to thank. Then we'll say, if we haven't already, thank goodness for the intellectual preparedness of our healthcare professionals and medical researchers, for their teachers and professors and mentors at every level, for the college administrators who facilitated their education. Thank goodness for their families and friends who supported them along the way. Thank goodness for their courage, their resiliency, their ability to think on their feet, and their willingness to deploy their skills in the service of others. And yes, thank goodness they took copious notes. Thank goodness for the reading they did that wasn't on the syllabus. Thank goodness for the days they just weren't feeling it, but got themselves to class anyway. Don't hear me saying all those who are working resolutely to turn the tide of this crisis are perfect, of course. They're not. They're people. I don't want to mythologize them. They procrastinated. They underperformed on the big test. They felt like giving up. They made mistakes and will surely continue to make them. But to the extent they maintained a commitment to professional competence and yes, to academic excellence, we are all, in an extremely vivid way right now, depending on those skills, just as we depend on the expertise of others every day, all the time, even when there's no emergency to help us realize it. Recently, I was texting with a friend of mine from college who's been on my mind a lot of late. Luke and I graduated together from the honors program at Miami University in 2006, and now he's an ER doctor in New York City. These last several weeks, he's been on the front lines of the pandemic working with COVID-19 patients. As undergraduates, Luke and I were part of a group of friends who'd celebrate each other's accomplishments, help each other let off steam during finals week, keep each other company during our all too frequent all-nighters. Years later, I still have a vivid memory of Luke doing this incredibly goofy dance in my dorm room, though I can't for the life of me remember why he was doing it. We were in college and Netflix didn't exist yet, okay? All we had for entertainment back then was like weird dances and stuff. Luke and I speculated about professors' personal lives over meals at the dining hall. We debated politics at bars. So many nights, without thinking much of it, I walked by his room and glanced in to see him studying from some massive science textbook. See, Luke was committed to learning. He knew he'd been afforded an incredible opportunity, and he made the choice day in and day out to seize it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for him, and thank goodness for you all. You're not perfect. You've made mistakes. But you've pushed through the challenges, and you've fought to silence the anxiety-inducing voice of your inner critic, and you've made that same choice day in and day out to embrace the educational opportunities you've had the great fortune to receive. Each of you being recognized today has distinguished yourself as representing what we at Lake Erie College define as academic excellence. And each of you, in your own way, whatever field you're in, be it psychology or biology, history, chemistry, equine studies, English, or anything in between, will someday be called upon, if you haven't already, to share your distinctive gifts with the world. When that happens, and I'm sorry to tell you this, it may not be at a time that is convenient for you. In fact, it may feel uncomfortable or frightening or even dangerous. I'm not trying to burden you. I'm certainly not trying to scare you. I'm only trying to say that what you've accomplished here at Lake Erie College matters a great deal, and not just to you alone. When you're a college professor or a college student, or, God forbid, the parent of a college student, you do a lot of thinking, maybe even hand-wringing, about the quote-unquote value of a college education. Oh, I've been there. My students can tell you hand-wringing is kind of my specialty. And I've noticed how, I think it's because we live in such a highly individualistic society, when someone floats the question, what is the value of a college education? What they really mean, almost by default, is what is the value of a college education to me? Yet in this time of global crisis, when we're at once so socially isolated and so exceptionally attuned to our dependence on others, perhaps we do better to ask, what is the value of a college education, or any education for that matter, to all of us? I'm not saying, of course, that pursuing a college degree isn't valuable to students on an individual level. I will happily talk your ear off about what the data shows regarding the value of education in terms of one's earning potential, financial stability, job satisfaction, personal well-being, and on and on. I can give you the whole spiel. But I have to confess, that's not what gets me up in the morning. That this or that student will likely fall into a higher income bracket because of their degree, that's great. It makes me happy. It's important. It's meaningful. But it's not ultimately why so many of us in higher education do what we do. It's certainly not what's kept me trying, despite myself, to figure out Zoom these past several weeks. The truth is that your education, your academic excellence, is a social good. The world depends on it. The world needs people like you, maybe now more than ever. Honorees, if you haven't had the moment yet, when you realize that other people are looking to you for guidance, are leaning on your skills and your knowledge and your preparedness, get ready, because probably sooner rather than later, you will. And when that time comes, here's to your seeing it not as a burden, but as a privilege. Congratulations to every student being recognized today. On behalf of Lake Erie College, we miss you, we wish the best for you, and though we may be separated by distance, we lean from our digital windows to applaud you for the work you've done and the even greater work you are now prepared to do. Keep making us proud.
We are pleased to recognize our Lake Erie College Honor Society students. Psi Chi is an international honor society founded in 1929. Its mission is to encourage, stimulate, and maintain excellence in scholarship in all fields, particularly in psychology, and to advance the science of psychology. The Lake Erie College members of Psi Chi today are receiving a platinum and dark blue international honors cord. Mortarboard, which is this hat, is an ancient symbol of honor and distinction. Founded in 1918, Mortarboard is a national senior honor society. Pi, Sigma, Alpha, letters that correspond to the three Greek words, represent the ideals of Mortarboard: scholarship, service, and leadership. Lake Erie College's Laurel Society chapter members are receiving today a gold medallion with a white ribbon representing achievement and opportunity. Congratulations, graduates, and we look forward to working with you in August and seeing you in all of your regalia.
Honors at Lake Erie College is a rigorous program meant to challenge and develop the potential of our highest achieving students. The goals of the program include increasing student aptitude for self-reflection, integrative thinking, communication effectiveness, and balancing personal goals with the needs of others. Participants in the program are required to maintain a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or higher while taking a series of enhanced honors courses. The program culminates in honors students presenting their original research to the campus community at our annual Scholars Summit, which this year, for obvious reasons, will be somewhat different than usual, taking the form of recorded lectures posted to the LEC Honors Program website. I encourage everyone to take the time to visit our website to see the truly excellent work of this year's honors graduates, representing fields as diverse as English, history, psychology, biology, chemistry, criminal justice, and equine studies. Students graduating from Lake Erie College's honors program receive an honors designation on their diploma as well as on their official transcript. Congratulations to this year's honors program graduates. It's my privilege to announce that this year's recipient of the Dean's Award for the School of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences is Rebecca Althouse. A double major in English and history, Becky has excelled in her coursework and graduates with an impressively high GPA. In addition to her achievements in the classroom, Becky has worked for the college in just about every capacity one can imagine: in the Writing Center, the Financial Aid Office, Lincoln Library, the Physical Plant, and as a resident assistant. Becky is a highly visible presence on campus and is held in high esteem by her student colleagues and faculty alike. She is a member of the honors program, has served as the president of PRISM, the LGBTQ student organization, and has been a recipient of Student Life's Good Samaritan Award, in part for her initiation of a litter pickup program. When I think of Becky, I think of someone who's fiercely intelligent but carries herself with extreme humility. Her conscientiousness, dependability, and ability to connect with just about everyone she encounters have made Lake Erie College a better place during her time here. On a personal note, I will miss Becky's presence in my literature classes tremendously, as I could always count on her to raise the level of discourse by asking the perfectly timed question or tackling a thorny issue with nuanced sensitivity and tact. Becky, as a very small token of my appreciation for all you've accomplished, please do not return the edition of Franz Kafka's collected stories that you borrowed from me. Keep it. It's yours now. I'm just sorry I didn't get a chance to gift wrap it for you. Congratulations, Becky, on this much-deserved award. We're excited to see where you go from here.
It is my honor this afternoon to present the School of Business Academic Excellence Award to Mr. Gabe Kennard. It has been my privilege to have had Gabe in class starting his sophomore year. He popped up on my radar when Gabe and Aaron, both starters on the men's basketball team, scored number 1 and number 2 on an accounting exam in the height of their basketball season. And this was out of a class of 30. Shortly after that feat, he changed his major to accounting, which put a permanent smile on my face. I've supervised Gabe during his internship with Parker Hannifin Corporation, a Fortune 250 company, which is a global leader in motion control technologies that earns over $14 billion in revenue each year. I've worked with Gabe out in the community of Painesville, helping low-income taxpayers prepare their federal, state, and local income tax returns. I've watched Gabe and his fellow classmates, especially with Holland, battle it out for the highest grade on an intermediate accounting 2 exam. And I've watched Gabe improve his accounting and business knowledge and his presentation skills with his final presentation in the accounting capstone class. Even with all the above accomplishments in the classroom, you cannot give a speech about Gabe without talking about and incorporating his accomplishments on the basketball court. Why? Because that's Gabe. Gabe is a student athlete. He was named Great Midwest Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Player of the Year. Again, GMAC Player of the Year, a first for Lake Erie College. He scored the highest number of points in both men and women's basketball, again, in all of Lake Erie College history. He was named first team All-American COSITA academic team, So only 5 students out of 327 was chosen for this. And I could go on and on and on, but I am the accounting professor, not the director of athletics. But what do these accomplishments have in common? His accomplishments in the classroom and his accomplishments out on the basketball court. Okay, it demonstrates Gabe's work ethic, his commitment to excellence, and his proven leadership skills. You see, I'm an avid basketball fan. As much as I have enjoyed watching Gabe mature and grow in the classroom, is as much enjoyment as I've had watching Gabe mature and grow on the basketball court. I remember one game in particular. Gabe, it was your junior year. It was that at-home win against Hillsdale. It was always nice to beat Hillsdale. It was down to the last seconds, and our players were heading back on the court, and Gabe, as team captain, pulled them aside for one last huddle. No coach, just Gabe as the team captain. I don't know what he said, but the team went out and won the game in the very last few seconds. Like most of us, I'm concerned about our current events and what the future holds. This is a time in history with great uncertainty, but this I know for sure. Our world needs leaders who can bring people together and work towards a common goal and promote innovation. Our world needs leaders who are honest, ethical, truthful, who give out facts, who surround themselves with people who are smarter than they are and listens to them. Our world needs individuals who look out for each other, not hoard toilet paper. Our world needs individuals that will pull up the less fortunate and provide them with tools and roadmaps so everyone in our society can succeed. I truly believe that Gabe is this type of individual and leader, and the School of Business is proud to present Gabe Kennard with the Student Academic Excellence Award. So congratulations, Gabe. Very well earned and deserved award. I'm so sorry we couldn't be here together so I could present this in person. But congratulations, I wish you the best. Thank you.
The annual award for excellence in equine studies is given to a student who stands out above his or her peers as a scholar and a horseman. This year's recipient is the embodiment of that. When I first had the privilege of teaching her, she was a sophomore and I was coming off of a semester of maternity leave. During my debriefing with my fellow faculty members, I was told that she was very smart and a pleasure to teach, and that she would be tutoring her peers as she took my courses. I distinctly remember being very impressed that a student had such drive to take on that task while concurrently learning the material herself, and noted that this must be an extraordinarily bright young lady. She certainly didn't disappoint. Through 3 years and 4 major academic courses, I have never had to issue a grade of less than an A+ or 98% to this particular student. She is constantly absorbing information and asking complex and relevant questions as she strives for a total understanding. Her ability to analyze and problem solve has allowed her to work beyond the scope of her courses and kept her instructors and professors on their toes. In class, she is present and engaged regardless of the content. She even completes totally unnecessary extra credit just for the learning experience. As a tutor, this young lady has become a lifeline to her peers. She has developed a system of delivering material to other students in creative and helpful ways, and assisted in many in developing important study skills that will stay with them throughout the rest of their academic careers. The students often joke that they would be lost without her, though I'm pretty sure it is not a joke. Her enthusiasm for learning has become contagious, and it will be her legacy for those who come after. As a true horseman, the student has shown her ability to apply her knowledge on campus and also in the industry. She has assisted in the care, treatment, and training of the horses in our facility, and also brilliantly represented our program from Kentucky to the Netherlands. We could not ask for a better ambassador. It has been my pleasure to be her teacher, and it is my honor to present this year's Excellence in Equine Studies Award to Emily Bludorn. Congratulations, Emily.
Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Jonathan Tedesco, Dean of the School of Natural Sciences and Mathematics and Associate Professor of Chemistry, and it is my distinct pleasure to be able to present this year's Honors Award recipient for our school to Samantha Bentley. Sam is graduating with a BS in Chemistry and a minor in Math. In her time at LEC, Sam has always quietly and competently performed quite well in her courses, while displaying a creative and analytical mind. She engaged well in her classes and was a stalwart resident in the second and third floors of Austin, where she spent time on her coursework, researching, and of course, hanging out with her Austin family. Her research project was a unique one, and she is one of the 2 preliminary student researchers who have laid the groundwork for future students to pursue lab experience at LEC. Her project dealt with a polymer called True Block, which is, and I'm quoting from their webpage, a handheld containment device which deploys in seconds to immediately prevent exposure to fentanyl and other lethal powders. In brief, Block is a polymer that is delivered in the form of an aerosol and solidifies on surfaces to trap compounds so they cannot be inhaled or contacted by people. There is currently no published means by which to identify compounds once they are trapped in Block. Sam worked with other LEC students, as well as a high school student, on developing extraction protocols and positive identification and recovery methods. The group had no information to work from, no prior background work was done, so everything that they did was novel. As a good example of her ability to think, troubleshoot, and work well with others, we now have an extraction protocol, though not perfect in terms of percent recovery, but it is one that we can use to potentially identify compounds once they've been encapsulated in the block. She has left our next batch of chemists with a solid groundwork to carry on her excellent work. In addition to her excellent work in class and lab, Sam has always been a pleasant member of our math and science family, with the not-so-occasional eye rolls ready for some of us. We have come to know her to be an intelligent, thoughtful, and compassionate person. And Sam, I know I speak on behalf of all of your math and science faculty when I say that we are going to miss having you in class and around campus. I want to end with a message from Dr. West, which really captures how we all feel in our school. Dr. West says, and you'll have to imagine his excited delivery, "Sam, in the beginning I did not know how to read you. You kept quiet most of the time in general chemistry. However, when you took my quantitative analysis and physical chemistry courses, I was like, why did you hide that great mathematical brain of yours? Now I just love how you like to conquer challenging yet practical analytical problems in chemistry. In physical chemistry, it shined even more since most of the students asked for your help balancing concepts in physics, math, and chemistry. I am happy and sad to see you leave Lake Erie College. I will miss having you in my courses. I wish you all the best as you move forward with your career as you go off to law school. When you are off in the summer or after interning for the day at a law firm, make sure to stop by Austin Hall and have a little bit of tea." Sam, while we certainly are sad to see you go, we wish you all the best with your next steps in your academic career as you pursue your law degree. And we look forward to hearing about your future endeavors. I have no doubt you will be successful in whatever you set your talented mind to achieve. I want to echo Dr. West's final point in saying that I hope you will come back to campus, update us on what you're doing, and of course, share some tea. Congratulations, Sam. This award is well deserved.
Hello from a distance. I am Pam Martin. I have the privilege of being the School of Education's Director of Clinical Experiences and Partnerships / instructor. It's an amazing position where I get to play a part in educating the teachers of tomorrow. Today I have the honor of announcing and recognizing the student who has earned the 2020 School of Education's Academic Excellence Award. But before I do that, I have something to share. I taught forever, retired, and joined the education faculty in 2011. One of the first presentations I saw here was one in which Dr. Schulman, whose intellect and sense of humor I greatly admire, gave the charge to the graduates. Among her words of wisdom was the idea to always wear practical shoes. I remember thinking that if I ever got the opportunity to speak to the graduates, I know what I would say. Well, here I am, and you're not. While I know you're staying home and staying safe, I also know you are a captive audience. So here goes. Yes, wear practical shoes. When your feet feel good, you are at your best, and it is practical. But I want to remind you that fine, fancy footwear also have a place. Always have your dancing shoes ready to put on for celebrations. Events like today call for joyful shoes. Unbeknownst to all of you, I have spent the last 9 years at every commencement, every graduation, every convocation, every faculty meeting, judging your shoes. Yes, it has been difficult. There have been some pretty amazing shoes across this stage, but one pair always managed to rise to the top. Although on a completely different level, selecting the student to receive this award was quite a challenge for the gang over at Garfield. This year's graduates are an outstanding group who are beyond ready to teach, face-to-face and, although unplanned, online. They will truly have a positive impact on their students' lives. We have grown to respect, admire, and quite frankly, love each one of you. You will always have a special spot in our hearts. But being the educators we are, we thought about the criteria for this award, pondered a rubric, and after a performance-based assessment, one student quickly rose to the top. This student truly exemplifies academic excellence. This student has maintained the highest GPA possible. This student consistently has assignments done to the highest quality and turned in early, even when traveling outside of the country. This student is admired and respected by peers and can be counted on to be a classroom leader as well as a project leader. This student's work is often used as an exemplar for others. One of our professors commented on how this student sought and immediately implemented feedback. The student has always looked for and excelled at challenging assignments, both in the classroom and in field placements. We have seen this student work with some very challenging students, and the student pulls it off effortlessly. This student elected to pursue a dual licensure program, which means the student will graduate with a degree in early childhood as well as special education. When faced with the daunting task of EdTPA, the student finished first and with one of the highest scores ever obtained by a Lake Erie College student teacher. Dr. Kramer commented that beyond academic excellence, this student's demeanor and dispositions are most befitting of a special education teacher. The words that come to mind are patient, kind, empathetic, and flexible. This student's dedication and enthusiasm for our profession is obvious. While I'm fairly certain the education students know by now who I'm talking about, to share just a bit more, this student is a Lake Erie College ambassador, on the mortar board, on the Student Government Association, serves as treasurer of the Teachers of Tomorrow, as well as the treasurer of the Sustainability Club. In addition, the student volunteers for the St. James Soup Kitchen, helped with the art gala, has volunteered at Night to Shine for the last 4 years, volunteers for Footless Fridays, and has a smile that warms the hearts of all she meets, and is fondly known as Kimmy. It is my honor to present the 2020 School of Education Academic Excellence Award to Ms. Kimberly Brummagem. Congratulations, Kimmy.
Congratulations to all of you. It is now my pleasure to present the 2020 Scholar Student Athletes. From the men's teams, Gabe Kennard. From men's basketball, 2019-20 GMAC Player of the Year, two-time GMAC First Team All-Conference, 2019-20 First Team Academic All-American, two-time NCAA CCA All-Region, and also the Lake Erie College All-Team Leading Scorer. Gabe separates himself as a student athlete with his relentless work ethic in the classroom and on the court. He is a special young man with his maturity, unselfishness, and driven mindset that the sky is the limit for Gabe after Lake Erie College. His positive impacts on the men's basketball program as well as Lake Erie College will be long-lasting. Congratulations, Gabe. On the women's side, congratulations to Holland Erb. Holland, a member of the women's soccer team, is a 4-year starter, 2-year captain, and 2-year member of the Leadership Council. Holland was a huge leader on the field and off the field, always worked harder than any opponent she came up against, led by example, and was always all in, as her coach describes her, and would do anything for her teammates. Congratulations to Holland and Gabe. Now it is my pleasure to present the 2020 Dean's Award. The Jane White Lincoln Dean's Award is traditionally given to a graduating senior who demonstrates strong academic achievement as well as outstanding service to the college community. As our mission describes, Lake Erie College strives to create global citizens. In this time of uncertainty, this year's recipient displays all of the important characteristics we have been reminded of, including kindness, empathy, and strength. Even though she is a quadruplet, Lydia Masar is certainly one of a kind. Joining us from Stowe, Ohio, Lydia came to Lake Erie and immediately began searching for opportunities to maximize her time. As early as Welcome Week, Lydia started taking advantage of the leadership opportunities, getting involved in various professional development offerings. With these 4 years, Lydia has filled her resume with so many experiences that strengthen her core values and traits that we all know and appreciate. Lydia served as a resident assistant for 3 years, winning awards for her first year and final year in the role of her commitment to the position and her residents. She also is a Lake Erie College ambassador, a member of Mortar Board, and the Psychology Club president. Lydia is a member of the Honors Program as well as Psi Chi, chapter of the International Honor Society of Psychology. Not only does Lydia share her qualities with our community, but participates in many outreach programs in neighboring areas. Lydia is a retreat volunteer at Little Pink Houses of Hope, advocating for women's health through breast cancer awareness. She is a certified crisis counselor for the Crisis Text Line and provides intervention to individuals, including helping them formulate safety plans. Finally, she also serves as a job coach at Hattie Lurharm Assisted Living, assisting young adults with various genetic conditions and developmental disabilities in various job locations. I have been so fortunate to watch Lydia grow over her 4 years. Her strength in the outreach to others are great reminders to all of us of what's significant in being successful professionally and personally. As a psychology major with a concentration in psychobiology and a minor in biology, I am pleased to present this year's Jane White Lincoln Dean's Award to Lydia Masar.
Traditionally, the President's Award goes to an individual that personifies the pillars of Lake Erie College: tradition, excellence, and service. I will now introduce the 5 finalists for this award. And so virtually we can all imagine them standing and cheering their name. The first is Sammy Jo Adkins. Sammy Jo hails from nearby Mentor, Ohio. She's completing her major in psychology with a concentration in forensic psychology, and she's also completing her minor in music. Sammy Jo has delighted audiences with her beautiful singing voice at concerts, vespers, and perhaps most publicly at the annual Arts Gala, helping raise funds in support of our arts programs. As we continue to revitalize the arts, Sammy Jo exemplifies the excellence we wish to foster. Our second finalist is Rebecca Althouse. Becky is completing a double major in English and in history. She hails from Winona, Ohio, and has been incredibly active on campus. Becky has worked various student jobs on campus in the library, as a resident assistant within housing, but perhaps most visibly as a student worker for our physical plant. She's the sort who gets things done, and I was very pleased to see her creation of a volunteer effort to beautify the campus. Our third finalist is Emily Bluedorn. Emily hails from Boardman, Ohio. She's an equestrian double major, completing her degree as equine teacher trainer, as well as facilities management. Emily is the president of our region-winning IHSA Hunt Seat team, which is the best finish in many years for that riding organization. She won the 2019 Laddie's Legacy Club Sportsmanship Award. She's active in student government and serves as a peer tutor for equine studies. Our next finalist is Gabe Kennard. Gabe is an accounting major who hails from Holland, Ohio. He has served as a campus orientation leader and has been active in the accounting club. Perhaps most visibly, Gabe has excelled as a leader on our men's basketball team. In addition to becoming our all-time leading scorer, Gabe was honored as the GMAC Conference Player of the Year. And finally, our last finalist is Lydia Macer. Lydia hails from Stowe, Ohio, and is a psychology major with a concentration in psychobiology and a minor in biology. Lydia is incredibly active on campus, serving as one of my ambassadors, a resident assistant within housing, and is active in our honors program, mortar board, Psych-Chi Honor Society, and serves as psychology club president. Lydia also volunteers as a crisis counselor. So those are our finalists. I'm now very proud to award this year's President's Award to Becky Althouse. Congratulations, Becky. And please congratulate all of these amazing students. So, in summation for our entire day today, congratulations to each of today's honorees. We honor your hard work, your spirit, and your potential to accomplish professional success and personal lives of significance. Students, we expect great things from you. You're the reason we all are here, and we are counting on you to take the world by storm. Go forth and do well while also doing good. Despite the fact that you are leaving us, you will always be a part of Lake Erie College, and the college will always be a part of you. Remember your friendships, your colleagues, and your relationships with faculty and staff. Understand that you carry our mission with you, and therefore influence the destiny of all of those whom we aspire to serve in the future. You join the students who over the decades have had their lives touched by Lake Erie College, and it is your charge to pay it forward, to help future generations of students accomplish as much. I really wish we could all be together in person today to honor you and give you hugs and celebrate together, but I'm glad that we're able to at least acknowledge the accomplishments and the meaning that your time here on our campus has brought. Congratulations to you all. Farewell and thank you.